have to really stay on this, because I have an assignment for the church, and one of the assignments is to raise for God giants. To raise for God what? Giants. And the requirement to being a giant in the spirit is not lousiness. I'm not against you having desire to be a great man, a great ministry episode, a great voice to the nations. But you know what? God told me this afternoon. He said, don't desire to be known, desire to have a message. Stop wanting to be a great voice. Just get a message. Your message is your voice. Because when you want to be popular, want to be known, want to be everywhere, you would want to take anything to make up and to be everywhere. And in taking different things, you would lose your own word. So the Lord says, why don't I separate you? Why don't I keep you? Why don't I seize you from running around, and I cook you until I'm able to crystallize a dimension within your spirit? So that even if you are in UK, the gospel has not changed. If UK sends for you, it's because they heard a word from Calabar that was lacking in UK. If New York sends for you, it's because they heard the word. So what God is trying to say is that the dimensions of heaven are not local. The dimensions of heaven are universal. They are global. But what makes you feel that is local is when your appetite starts changing and going in the direction of the flesh. But if you stay with me, you will be in Patmos, but you will have 7 messages to 7 nations. That's a giant. You are in Patmos, but you do not know that what I am stirring up within you is a global dimension. You would have a crystallized language for the different nations of the earth. Nations will have issue, and it will be traced down to you because you have sat down for years and you have learned how to solve national problems by the will of the Father. That's a giant. A giant whose appetite and flesh has been dealt with seriously. That's a giant. That's a giant. He lives in the spirit. And when he lives in the spirit, the Lord begins to crystallize words to him. Friends, as you grow up, there is a tendency to want to be in a hurry. When you get to that level, just realize that there's something that heaven is about to hand over to you, and Satan wants to collect it. Am I making sense? Satan wants to take it. So he tries to offer you different greenish and flowery things. But when you are a saint with an ancient spirit, you will know that all these things will fade away. You will know that in the realm of the spirit, when you appear before God, it's not all that you had and all that you were before men that matters. It's how many pages of your book did you open and did you fulfill. Hey, that's the core. That's why true prophets are not men pleasers. Are you getting me? True prophets are not men pleasers. True prophets don't even have what you always want to hear, because they have already been trained to live without the offerings of men. They have been trained to journey without the offerings of men. That's why every generation that must please the Lord must be prophetic. There must be that singleness of heart. There must be that separation that God makes for them and begins to train them and equip them to be a voice in their time and in their day. And so I'm praying for each and every one of you seated here, that the Lord will equip you and will make you a voice unto himself. I said the Lord will equip you and will make you a voice unto himself. Christianity is beyond the clothes we wear. Christianity is beyond the looks we have. Christianity It's about you being available in all the realms that God is. Are you getting me now? Why do we allow Satan exist in realms that sons of God don't exist? I just wish I'm provoking somebody here. Why do we allow Satan exist in realms that sons of God don't exist? Have you not noticed that Satan knows the appetite of a normal man? So when men go to him, he gives them money. Is that not it? He said, what do you need? He said, money. What does Satan need in return? He needs a life. He will tell me, he will tell you, give me the life of your wife, give me the womb of your wife, give me one leg, one part of your legs, give me one. He will collect life. What is spiritual? What is is somebody getting what I'm saying? He will give you everything that you need, but those things can only end here. And Satan has been wise until I began to eat from the meal of wisdom, until I began to eat from the table of God, until I began to partake on the shewbread in the second place in the progression of the tabernacle. That was when I knew that when Satan offers me things, they don't make sense. Don't make sense. He came to Jesus and said to Jesus, turn this stone to bread and eat it. And Jesus looked. He said, I was not programmed to obey you. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by what? Every word. Do we have those kind of people in our time? People that don't live by the things that this life offers. If it comes to them, they take it. The day it doesn't come, they program their life to survive without it. But they live by every word that comes from the Lord. He looked at him. He said, I'm going to give you the whole world. All of this belongs to me. I can hand it over to you. If only you will bow down and worship me. Is it not the same thing? Is it not the same thing that is happening to the church? A brother starts with God very much on fire. As he begins to see some privileges, you see him go back. Satan has offered him the world and has collected God, as it were. Men have to come to a point where the things that Satan offers cannot control you anymore.